And that is right, people. I am the golden one himself. I am Ricky. Oh, man. Do like and subscribe because this is a People Raining Rock podcast. Right off the bat, I do want to say a big thank you to 340 subscribers. It's no major number, but we're growing here. So the next milestone is 350. So do like and subscribe. Get us to that. So big thank you to 340. Also, again, check out that description. In it is my PODBEAN link. And also, I was meant to be having a guest on here interviewing a wrestler, but that's going to be next week now. But let's get on with this with my co-host, the wise man himself. It is Ian.
Hey!
And how are you today?
Sick.
You're not feeling so well?
I have a bit of a cold. I have a bit of the old cold there. Caught yesterday, but could have been worse, I suppose. No antigen test, but heck, I'm in isolation. I'm doing a podcast, so that gets me through it.
It comes with living in the UK. bad weather everywhere. I had a cold a couple months ago, but
well, at least it's not the other. At least it's not the other one. So
I'm way too busy to get ill. All these wrestling events I'm going to, so I can't make it too. Anyway, so right off the bat, let's get to. Give me a second. Do we have a? Is it still or is it new podcast prediction champion coming out of Elimination Chamber? Is it still? Is it new? Is it still? Is it new? Is it still? Is it new? Well, we got the same predictions right, but by way of getting the prediction right for the final four, it is. Right, the new podcast prediction champion is your head of the table. I got it. I'd say Raquel Rodriguez, Becky, Bianca, and Liv in the final four, which it was.
Right, you bet that one.
So, and the new podcast predictions champion, you must all acknowledge me. But yes, let's get our first segment here, which is as always this one. So what's cooking at the table? So again, just about a couple of minutes chat what we've been up to. So as per usual, I've been to the gym, my craft thing, which I repainted, Roman Reigns gauntlet, so I repainted that, and Elimination Chamber card, just design my own card. And that's it, really. Obviously, I've been to some wrestling, but we'll get to that later here. So, what have you been up to since last week? Anything exciting?
I've been sick for the last week, so I can't really do a lot. But when we get to the movies thing, I did go to the cinema, so we'll get to the movies part later. So I've been sick mostly, so I haven't been able to do a lot at the moment. I can't do karate at the moment, so.
Well, you get well soon, anyway.
I'd be cool. It'd be grand. It'd be grand.
Sleep, I find, is the best way to get better.
There's that, and keep your mind busy.
Yeah, sleep and lots of fluids. Speaking of that, everybody grab yourself a drink. I should have said this right at the beginning. Grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax for the Raining Rock podcast. I always forget that.
I'm all right. I had a coffee, so I'm all right.
So yeah, let's get to the next segment that it was just discussing. So we'll get to that right now. which is movie talk. So Ian, you.
Yes, I finally saw. I finally saw the Iron Claw. I thought it was brilliant. I really love Zac.
Okay. What did you?
I liked Zac Efron as Kevin Von Erich. I just thought he just played him really to the part. I like the other actors as well.
Did you support Chavo Guerrero in it?
Oh yeah, I saw the end credit. He worked on all the what you call it,
He was actually in it as well, only for 2 minutes, but he was in it.
Oh, wait,
he was a sheik. I don't know. He was at the match at the beginning.
Oh yeah. During the feud when they were facing like the Freebirds, and then there was a sheik wrestler there. Yes, I remember that.
And apparently MJF was in it, and he kind of was. I think it was a blink and you miss him. Apparently, I didn't see him. Did you see him in it?
I stream it again. I'll see if I can point him out, and then I'll take a picture. Like it was one of those. It was one of those films that can really punch you in the gut as well. Because like there was just so many sad moments, particularly with the Von Erich family itself, like especially with the brothers.
It was decent. It's always good to have a. Can I put that? Can you see that there? It's always good to have a like a wrestling movie. Apparently, Natalia wants to move on to her family. Apparently.
Yeah, with her. Yeah, and she wants Sydney Sweeney, who is currently in Madam Web, to play her.
Madam Web, like I said, wasn't brilliant.
I haven't seen. I want to see it just to see how bad it is, but no, I'll be looking forward to Doom 2 as well. That's going to be good.
Yeah, I'm looking to watch that with Batista's in it, but
I know. Well, like the thing about Dune is like it's not like a simple sci-fi in the vein of Star Wars or Rebel Moon. Like there's a bigger story to it. Like you have to really train your brain and do more reading of the book of Dune.
I watched it because Batista was in it. That was one on the. Well, I watched it anyway, but it was obviously the reason why I watched it.
Would you have watched it for the likes of Well, there's actually a few little connections to certain like because Jason Momoa was in it, and you've seen him in the Fast and Furious movies, despite you seeing him for The Rock. Somebody who also has another connection to wrestling. Hang on, someone who has another connection to wrestling that was in it is also Florence Pugh, who played Paige in Fighting with My Family.
That was a good movie.
Yes, it is.
So the movies I've watched, We Die Young. Have you seen that with Jean-Claude Van Damme in?
I want to see that. Is that on Netflix? I do love Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I watch it on DVD at the craft thing I go to. It's like not a community centre, it's Community Link, it's called, and they give away free food. I think it's out of date food from Tesco and Asda like, but it's edible. You can eat it. You can eat it. I picked up a DVD there, and it was We Die Young. Decent film.
Jason, talk about cheap.
Black Water again with Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. Have you seen that?
No, these are all I take it now. Like the action heroes in the 80s and 90s have gone to the B movie territory now. I mean, with Dolph Lundgren now, the Expendables and Aquaman is finished. He's going to have to find something else.
Very B movie-ish. And this one was on Netflix, The Abyss. It's about it's about the
submarine.
Earthquake in Sweden.
Oh!
It's Swedish and dubbed over, but if you don't mind
when I think of The Abyss, I think of the film James Cameron made in '89. Classic.
Yeah. But this was a Swedish earthquake. Like I said, if you don't mind dubbed over movies, then it's decent. But
well, when you think of Abyss, everyone's going to think of James Cameron.
Yeah, I think that's a very dated film, though, isn't it?
It's still a classic.
James Cameron that did
Avatar
and
Titanic, Terminator, the first two Terminators, and Aliens. Yes, that's him.
Alien.
No, Aliens.
Yes, he's made some good films. Oh, quite long films. Titanic's like 3-4 hours long, and Avatar is long, but yeah. So I'll play this, and then we'll get to the next segment. So I'll just go a quick chat about the wrestling I've been to. It's coming up this weekend. I've made a little video for it, so I'll play that, but I'll play this first. So So it is right. Protein teas, Gulman's one, and all my socials as we get into the next segment, which is take that banner down first. Oh. Ugh, right. I pressed the wrong thing there again. There we go. Right. So the next segment is so wrestling days out with Ricky Goldman. Went to watch wrestling on Friday at LWF. It was decent show. And then Elimination Chamber watch party. I just stayed up. I didn't even go to bed. Just watched SmackDown and stayed up. But yeah, at 10 a.m. Jesus Christ. People were drinking at 10 a.m. as well. I drink.
How was LWF?
Say that again.
I said, how was LWF?
Oh, it was decent. Nice, decent show. No complaints. Probably the best.
Yeah.
Out of the 4, I've been to 4 this month, 4 different wrestling. Out of the 4, that was probably the best. Ryan Lowe was there, who we had on here, but didn't win the title.
Ryan Lowe.
Yeah, didn't win the title. Good match.
I got up for the pay-per-view at about 8 o'clock. I watched the press conference. I had an early breakfast, watched the pre-show, and was able to watch the whole pay-per-view then.
We'll get onto that later, but yeah, like I said, 10 a.m. and people were drinking Jaeger bombs at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
Jesus.
That'd be well. Right. Always remember. Well, just remember one thing, 2 things. 1, always eat before you drink, and 2, always drink responsibly.
I drink when I go on holiday when it's like all inclusive, but it's that thing of the first 2 days you drink loads, and he's like, oh, you got 2 weeks of this.
Even if it's all inclusive, the food could be shite. Like, because I stayed in a hotel in Spain last year, which was all inclusive food. Like, it had its good, had its bad, but most occasions we wanted to go out and eat as well.
But kind of when me and my mum went all inclusive the first time, it's like, oh, you smash it for those first 2 days, and it's like, oh, you've got another 12 days of this. It gets boring quick. Anyway, this weekend, for the love of wrestling, like I said, I made a little video of it and a couple of pictures of what I'll be wearing and other things. Let me play this first. These are all the people that are going to be there this weekend, 2nd and 3rd of March.
Every step she takes, my blood is toxic.
What does everybody need?
That is a good list.
So there we are, all the names that will be there. 6 Hall of Famers: Sergeant the Sorcerer, Rikishi, X-Pac, Tristratus, Lita, Scott Steiner. 6 Hall of Famers. It all kicks off Friday night with an evening with Sean Waltman, X-Pac. Progress, you've got Eddie Dennis from NXT UK, Grizzled
remember
Veterans
him.
going to be there. Axel Hammerstone's going to be there. Saturday, obviously, Love of Wrestling itself. A couple of sets are going to be there. We're going to have the WrestleMania 7 set, the Bank set, Slammy Awards set, Raw set. They're doing cosplay competition, and I'm going to reveal my outfit now. Here it is. Of course, it's none other than your tribal chief.
Have you ever won one? Have you ever won it before?
I've never done it before. Well, they did it last year, but it's a long weekend, so I just like left. But this year they're doing it properly because they're going to do, like I said, with the Raw stage, they're going to have a Tron. I'm going to come out to Roman Reigns Tron, so that's cool. And then Future Shock Wrestling, Gangrel, Ken Shamrock, and Rhino will be on the show. And then Sunday, Love of Wrestling. So a packed weekend. I'll be very tired watching Revolution. God, which we'll get onto later here. A card that looks... Well, no, it looks an okay card, but... Damn. So yeah, let's get into some wrestling talk here with the next segment. So yeah, Love of Wrestling, and I have posted my pictures of what I'm wearing on the Facebook group. Some people have laughed about it. I don't care what people think. Some people actually want a picture with me, which is cool. So yeah, so anybody watching, head over to go and get a picture. Come and get a picture with me. I'm more than happy to take a picture. But you all have to acknowledge me.
And of course, actually, just to go back before we go to the next subject, to get yourself a little bit warmed up for Love of Wrestling, check back the interview we did with them a few weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely.
February 7th.
Is that when it was?
February 7th we did it. Yeah,
Time
because
flies.
we had February 7th, and then we had no show that Wednesday because that was Valentine's Day, and then we did 2 more shows. We did the last show, and then we did this show.
So yeah, February 7th, James, who seems to work very hard and seems to have a lot of patience. I ask him 10,000 questions and he answers every single one. Not 10,000, but a lot. He answers every single one. So a hell of a lot of patience. Works really hard. So yeah, February 7th, going to look at that. Let's get into the next segment, which is this.
So where do you want to start?
Starting with last week's Dynamite. Give me a second here.
Which was actually a pretty good show now.
Somewhere here. That was it? Oh God. Was it FTR taking on Blackpool Combat Club? Is that Dynamite?
Sorry, say that again?
FTR taking on Blackpool Combat Club. Was that
Dynamite?
Yes.
Yes, that was Dynamite.
That
was Dynamite. And that was Dynamite to show at a match that was Dynamite, because that was absolutely brilliant tag team wrestling. Just FTR's. They deserved that Wrestling Observer Newsletter Tag Team Award. They just delivered, and just ending off, the time ran out and now we're getting the match at Revolution. So I can't wait to see that second match at Revolution.
So yeah, that went to a time limit draw. Okay. Orange Cassidy got the 1, 2, 3 pinfall on Mike Bennett.
Formerly Mike Kanellis, of course. It is not actually acting for the Love of Wrestling, Mike Kanellis is.
No, Maria is, but I suppose Mike's
I know,
not big enough,
this wasn't a bad match now. You actually, when you watch I was never a fan of Mike Bennett in WWE. I just liked the music because it was just cheesy rock and roll. But he was actually not bad in that match.
I would imagine Mike will be there backstage with his wife, but not actually as a guest. He's not big enough, I suppose.
If they do run into him, do you think they talk to him about? Do you remember that whole "Who's the father of Maria's baby" on WWE 2019?
I don't know, possibly.
Yeah, I remember that. Jesus, so just classic.
Cindy Winnell. Cindy Winnell, who's that? Lost to Tony Storm. Who's Cindy Winnell?
Just an independent wrestler. But like one thing I like about Tony Storm, like she's redesigned the name of the ankle lock to the break a leg. Like she was
Okay.
given best gimmick. She was given best gimmick at the Wrestling Observer News Awards for the character. Best gimmick. I just
Isn't
noticed.
that just a magazine made up by Dave Meltzer? Take him or leave
It's
him,
all-
Dave Meltzer. He can be. Take him or leave him. He can be the best. Jesus, it depends people's view on him. He can be the best reporter. He can be the worst. I prefer Sean Ross Sapp or.
No, he's good, but he's never always
All the
exact. But
ones,
people
but-
still like him. People still like him.
Madison Rain, where's she been? But she took an L to Deanna Purrazzo. So
Oh,
Deanna
did you see
Purrazzo
that?
heading in.
Did you see that?
Building
Did you see that DDT that she took? Dude, that was awful.
I don't watch Dynamite, so no. So Deanna Purrazzo building momentum heading into this Sunday's Revolution. Okay, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, like all I can say is that headshot she took.
I have no idea what you're talking about because I don't watch Dynamite. And in six-man tag team action, your winning team was Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, Brian Cage as they defeated Adam Page, Hook, and Rob Van Dam.
And then the talking point in that match was after the match because Hangman did a dive, and then RVD took the chokehold, and then Hangman is seen limping out, and there was fears that he was not going to make it into the pay-per-view due to an injury. But then a report came later on Fightful.com saying that he's fine. So, like, he's going to be announcing his future on Dynamite later tonight. So we'll just wait and see. But I'm hoping he can make it there because I'll give my views on that later.
Who's that? The Samoa Joe.
Hangman Adam Page. Hangman Page versus Joe versus Swerve.
Yeah, we'll get to predictions later here. On SmackDown, very much just filler SmackDown, but still decent. Tiffany Stratton. Now this was obviously before Elimination Chamber and taped as well, but we'll still go over it.
Yeah, it was.
Tiffany Stratton becoming a win against Liv Morgan, so she built momentum heading into.
That was good. Tiffany Stratton for the last while has gotten really over with the fans. Like, and we'll get to that when we get to Chamber. But this was a good match. Like, I'm looking forward to big things from Tiffany.
Yeah, she's getting a good push early on. I was a little surprised that Liv lost.
She has it. She has what it takes to be a star in WWE in the women's division. Like, she's got a look. She's got a good character, a great entrance. Like, I prefer NXT entrance. They're not capitalizing on doing the NXT entrance. But no, she has it. She has the package. Like, your Charlotte.
Bron Breakker had a successful debut as he just ran through Dante Chen.
Well, look, it's his first match on the roster. You can't expect him to be put into a big segment later, leading to Mania. Just give it time and just let him start off. Start slow and just build him up all the way. When the time is right, he'll be ready. Like,
Second match on the main roster, he had a match on Raw against Dolph Ziggler. So second match.
That's right, yeah. That's right, yeah. Well, his debut.
Third match. Third. How many meetings I'm sure he's been on main event? You're not counting that as main roster.
Well, no one really watches main event. Like, main event is always taped before Raw.
He's still been on it. So, but just TV then. He's had two matches.
Yeah. So he's wrestled on both Raw and SmackDown.
In tag team action, your winning tag team, your winning duo was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate as he defeated Midge and made a.
This was a really good.
Eddie McDonough and Dominic Mysterio take a loss.
This was a really good match. Now, like, I think like the catch, what you call them, catch.
New Catch Republic, which I don't really like.
New
that
Catch
name,
Republic.
But, okay.
Well, we got a bit of detail into the name, like Elimination Chamber. It's because of they're named after the faction they were both in and the style of wrestling they use, which is catch style wrestling. But this was a really good match. Like, they've really kind of breathed new life into the division with Dunne and Bate now. So I'm looking forward to what they do in the years to come, the next while, because they are really good. Like, whenever they decide to split the tag titles, they have to be in the contender to be the first team to get it.
They can explain the name all they like. I'm not too keen on it. But anyway, AOP defeated Street Profits AOP, I'm really not too keen. I don't think they've had a good return at all. But
they've already got off the ground. Like they've had 2 matches now. Like so, it's good to see that the Final Testament is still getting pushed. So like, I'm not the biggest. I like the look of AOP. I like the music. They're not the best. They're not the best. Like they know the type of team they are, and I like them for it. So I'm glad that they're still getting pushed and they're not really being looked down on because of the association with Karrion Kross. So let's keep
and
to
end SmackDown, Drew McIntyre with a DQ win over LA Knight. Kevin Owens got involved. Bobby Lashley came out. Randy Orton, RKO'd, Drew. This was basically just to build Chamber that little bit more. Your thoughts on this?
I'll say bronze. I love the tag match. That was my favorite. Tiffany's really gotten herself was booked really strong. Was booked strong in the match with Liv.
Yeah, I didn't rate Dynamite. It was again like
I would say Dynamite
bronze. I'll say bronze for Dynamite.
I'll give a gold to Dynamite because I like the main event and I like the main event. I love the opening match and I loved the international title match. I'll give it a gold. It was actually quite a good show. Silver for SmackDown.
Yeah, it was decent. A decent SmackDown. It did its job. It was just a build-up show. Again, only 2 matches on Level Up. Common Petrovic knocking off Brindley Reese, and Tyson DuPont and Tariq Igwai went over Tank Ledger and Hank Walker. What are your thoughts on Ledger and?
I don't watch NXT Level Up now, but I know the type of team they are. They're like, I don't know what's the best way to describe. They're probably the team to replace. I want to see replace Brooke and Jensen, which is not going to really work because that Brooke and Jensen were a better tag team. They kind of reminded me of the APA in a way.
I think they're a decent tag team. Hank and Ledger and Hank and Tank. They're okay.
Not the best though. Not the best.
No,
they have a catchy name now. They have a catchy name that was gotten over in the 80s.
They're not LOD or the Hardys, but they're decent at what they do. I'll say a bronze. So okay, heading into let's get into Elimination Chamber. Kickoff show match. All the matches were good, but were very predictable. Anyway, Kabuki Warriors retained against Indy Hartwell, Candice LeRae. I'm glad that Indy got that pop. And it looks like she's continued to be used on Raw.
This was a good start now for a match. This is a good start. Like it was good that they brought in the Australian talent because Bronson Reed, the week he was there, his wife was giving birth, so he couldn't have been there. He would have gone a good match on the main card. But like they held their own well against the Kabuki Warriors. I knew myself they weren't going in because nobody was losing any titles this close to Mania. But the match itself was fine. Like I think this was the most over in a match Indy Hartwell has gotten on because like I was watching her on Raw during the tag match with her, Candice LeRae against Zoe Stark and Shayna, and nobody was really over in that match. Like there were a few cheers maybe for Indy, but there was not a lot in cheers. But it was a fine match.
This is because WWE are all full of building stars and people just don't care.
I don't think it's a case that they're off. I think I have noticed this a couple of times on Raw with the women's tag division. They always come out at a moment that's just really good, and then when the women's tag come out, there's no like. I'll come to that later when we get to the Raw review because it is something I have noticed.
It's more like the fans don't care. Indy Hartwell's come from nothing. So, it's an Australian show. Let's stick her on there. And now we're meant to care. Good spot for her, but and so women's elimination chamber, pretty obvious who was winning, but I thought that everybody looked good in this. Naomi has definitely had a good return. So Tiffany looked like a star in the making. Raquel looked good. Liv looked really good, and of course Becky Lynch as your winner.
Tiffany Stratton was the MVP of that whole pay-per-view. Like she got the first elimination against Naomi, and then just to dive off the top of the cell pod, she did onto Becky and Bianca. That was really good. Then when she got to Liv and she got eliminated by Liv got booed by the crowd. The crowd was chanting, let's go Tiff. We want Tiffany." She was the MVP in that match. Started her making her a star in that division. Like everyone was booing Liv. I couldn't believe that.
that's people that don't understand WWE. It's just they have most of them probably are like, don't watch WWE and go, oh, there's a show in our city. Is there? Well, Perth is a city, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, there's a wrestling show. I'll go watch it. I probably never don't watch WWE or not regularly anyway. The New Cats Republic, awful name, but I do like that Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are getting this
I love this
match.
I loved this match. I loved this match. I loved the chemistry between the Judgment Day and the New Cats Republic. And Dom just was, all that. Dom just really can still get the crowd hating him and all that. Just when he got on the mic, everyone was going. And then when
that was the crowd turned up or not, but yeah, if it wasn't, then yeah,
one of the moments that happened, one of the moments that caught my eye was when the camera went blank during when Dominic Mysterio pulled Tyler Bates' leg from under him during the pin he got against Balor, and then because apparently now the Australian crowd were giving Dominic Mysterio the finger, so that's why they blanked it out.
I thought it was because the thing that at the watch party we were watching through a laptop. They sorted the connection out. It kept going on and off, on and off. They finally sorted it out, and I thought, oh god, he's gone off again, has it? But there
were another 2 points. Like, where was JD McDonough? He wasn't at the show. Like, he was the only Judgment Day member that wasn't at the show. And then there was the other highlight, right? The next plan we know. Sorry?
Why fly him in if you don't need him? Why spend money getting people there you don't need, I suppose?
We now know, like, from the looks of things where we're going to see the Judgment Day defend the tag titles against either DIY or Awesome Truth. There was one segment like R-Truth was supposed to fly to Australia, but then he landed in Austria. Just that man is a classic.
That'll be a good moment for Awesome Truth, but
yeah, I think it'll be
WrestleMania. But we'll get onto that later here. Get onto the four massive matches made. Not massive.
I'll get to that later.
Yeah. Grayson Waller effect. I was fully expecting the here, but I know Triple H said The Rock wasn't going to be there, but he's not going to come out and say, well, yes, he is going to be there if he was. Theory got heat. Grayson Waller, they love. Obviously, he's from Australia, so they love him. Rollins got a good reaction. So did Cody. This did really nothing. It was just a filler.
But we know what the talking point, the whole idea was. Like, we thought there, Cody called out The Rock.
But I do think that it's Rollins is turning heel. He got up behind Cody like, you forgetting about me again? I think that's what's going to be.
What if he's not forgetting about
Rollins?
What if he's not forgetting about me? Rollins will have his own match at Mania that we're about to get to now.
No, Cody's forgotten about Rollins. From the Rumble, pointing at the Reigns, saying, I want you. On SmackDown, he says, I want that title. At the press conference for Mania, at the back of my mind, Seth Rollins was on the stage, but in just a moment, the focus was Rock, Reigns, Cody. So forgetting Rollins was there. Obviously, WWE want you to do this, but you forgot that Rollins was there. At Chamber, Rollins is like, what about me? So I think he's turning, and it's going to be you treating me as second best. He turns and he cost Cody at Mania. The men's chamber, obviously was winning, but Lashley looked great in there. Orton, people are saying he's injured. If he's not, then he did a fantastic job at selling.
I saw the post there where he looks like he was.
Drew won, but now
it's
okay, innit?
Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley.
Logan looked like a complete star. He just gets better and better and better each and every time. Just when you think he can't, he does. It was obvious he was winning, and Drew won.
And now it's a setup for what happened between Logan Paul and Randy Orton. There's talk of the two of them facing each other at WrestleMania, and now we also saw AJ Styles get involved as well, attacking LA Knight. So I think they've got them now penned for separate matches at WrestleMania. But what if they were to add them all?
Mania to me.
Yeah, okay. Here's what. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
SmackDown.
yeah. You could do that. So here's what you do: you add LA Knight and AJ Styles to Logan Paul and Randy Orton, and then you throw Kevin Owens in there to continue his feud with him, and you add a stipulation to it.
Still not big enough for Mania. Logan is. The rest.
But you use that, yeah, and you use. Okay, yeah, but you use that match to finally put gold on LA Knight. All the others have held the US title. Time for LA Knight to do it.
Not big enough for Mania, is what I'm saying.
I say they'll get at. I say they'll get at it because if you don't want to have too many matches, put them all together and add a stipulation because there is talk that we might see
like 8 matches a night. So we need to fill a card. We're 5 weeks away on Saturday. We've got 4 matches. The biggest Mania ever. That's bad.
Now hang on. It will get there's 6 weeks. There's still time, so don't worry. Like I'd say by SmackDown, we'll get a decision whether we're getting Cody versus.
It should be 10 matches announced, locked, confirmed, and they're now getting built. It should not be 4 matches, and even they're not confirmed. Sami Zayn could get added to Drew. You could have Liv being added to Becky. They're not 100% definite. These are the matches. You've got 2 matches. They're made. I'll talk
to you about those matches later on.
And then
when we get to
that. So Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax. That was a good match. Yeah, Rhea won. Got a good reaction, of course, being from Australia. What was your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I loved the way the crowd was with Rhea. Like, Nia really held her up. Nia's been doing some of her best work since she got back. Like, there's one little flaw with the system was that the table didn't break the first time Nia did the Samoa drop to Rhea Ripley. Oh, here, just want to read this for a second. Oh, hi to Ramsey Z, who says Rocky sucks.
Rocky sucks.
And hi to Ramsey Z, who says we want Cody.
Well, seeing as you have I brought your thumbnail, you're probably a mark, so whatever. Thank you for tuning in. You're probably a mark, so yeah. Okay, thank you. So for the rating for Chamber,
I'm going to say
alone, I'll say silver to gold, and that's being generous.
I'll say silver. Yeah, it was predictable, but sometimes predictability is not a bad thing when you're building towards certain matches like Rhea and Becky. So I'm going to say silver. I love the women's chamber match the most. I love the tag title match. My only complaint is it was only 4 matches on, and there was no Rock, no Roman. So I'm just going to say silver, 8 out of 10. I like the scenery in Australia, so that gives it another mark from me. I love the scenery in Australia.
A real quick, just to address you coming, Ramsey. How lucky are you to have The Rock back? The Rock doesn't need to come back. The Rock is super busy, super rich, doesn't need the money, doesn't need to come back to WWE, and he's doing 3 SmackDowns. We are super damn lucky to have him back. And he's now made Mania must see. He's now made Cody a star. Well, he's now elevated Reigns and Cody, because without The Rock, who cares about Reigns, Cody? But we'll get to that later here. So Raw, Drew McIntyre. Well, I see only right initials. Dominic Mysterio came out. Rhea Ripley did, and then Becky Lynch did. All cut a promo. This was just a high. Their match for Mania.
And then
all Arab WWE fans. What?
Oh, he's Arab. All Arab. Hang on. All Arab WWE fans hate The Rock because he supports Israel. I think he's trying to say all Arab WWE fans hate The Rock because he supports Arsenal. Maybe? Are you saying Arsenal, Ram?
No, it's support.
Israel.
Does he support Israel?
I think he's talking about the war in Gaza between Israel.
Right. I don't get into politics. That is not the place for this. This is wrestling and movies, not politics. If you want to talk movies, fine. If you want to talk wrestling, fine. Anything else? No.
But hang on. What if a wrestler runs for president? What if a wrestler runs for president?
Well, he isn't right now as we're speaking, is he? So
yeah,
that's different. But that's not some war in Israel.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's get to Raw. Let's get to Raw because this was actually a good.
Becky
Raw.
Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio. This was just to hype their match for Mania. Yeah. What was your thoughts of this?
Yeah, I liked both the little slogans they used together about behind every man there is a strong woman. Like that was very good, and just keeping like Rhea is just super over now after this past year and after the show in Australia. Like you heard the crowd chanting "Mommy," she is really over, and now she's going up there with Becky Lynch. And then, like with Becky Lynch saying, "Mommy used to be on top, but she'd be going down." And then you have Rhea saying, "Behind every man lies the strong woman." So you just have to have that match. Like I like Liv. Everyone is talking about the "We Want Liv" movement that was set up after Elimination Chamber. Like it's not like the Cody movement. The difference is Liv lost clean, fair and square. I like Liv and all, but she doesn't need to be added to this match. So the match Becky and Rhea is better on its own because you have two of the most over women on the roster at the moment. Like this, like I'd have this as one of the main events if things were a bit different without The Rock. This could be a story alone. This could be a main event. Like I think no, they shouldn't add Liv Morgan or Nia Jax to it. It needs to be one-on-one.
While Liv and Cody think are different is because Liv fans are probably grown up, and Cody fans seem to be quite immature.
Yeah, but Cody
and don't know how to control themselves on social media. Anyway. Shinsuke Nakamura came up short against Sami Zayn. I would have had Sami Zayn continue to lose heading into Mania, so that win means a lot more.
No.
Okay.
Well, we know why. Well, we know why he's winning anyway because you were mentioning earlier on about him being added to Seth and Drew. No, that's not happened. Oh, hang on, Ramsey's just rotating back there.
I'm a Cody Crybaby, but it's nothing to be proud.
As I was saying,
told you I knew he was a mark.
Sammy's not going to be added into the slot with Seth and Drew because his stuff with Drew is over. But he's looking like from what we saw because he was. No, not now because I think Seth and Drew is just better on its own. We were watching Sami Zayn. He did a backstage interview and then he's confronted by Imperium and Gunter. So from the looks of things, he's going to be facing Gunter. We'll get to Imperium later on because
if I was booking it, I'd have Sami Zayn, Drew, Rollins. I mean, maybe I'm saying win. Why not? Does he not deserve a world title? Rhea Ripley quickly dispatched of Chelsea Green. So she
I like Sammy. Now, hang on.
The wins.
You mean Raquel Rodriguez?
Yeah, her. What did I say? Did I say Chelsea Green?
You said Rhea. No, you said Rhea Ripley.
Oh, because I write initials. I write RR for the wrestler and then W or L or L. So it's like
why don't you say confused. Why don't you say RQ for Raquel and ROT for Rodriguez?
Yeah, I could do that. What's he put now? The one and only.
The one and only IC title for. Well, we would have had Gunter versus Brock Lesnar.
Gone from WWE.
We would have had that match. I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to that match, but if Brock isn't involved in this whole thing with Vince, then we're not going to get it. So you have to find something else to go with.
Versus Gunther, but I wouldn't have Brock take the title off Gunther. I'd have Gunther win.
No, you use that match to get Gunther to boost Gunther up to the main event.
Because even though Gunther's been champion, which we'll get to here in a second here, has been champion for these 600 days, the title is still mid-card. So Gunther came out, spoke, followed by the Judgment Day.
With Damian Priest coming in.
Dominic and Damian spoke. I don't even know what this is leading to. It's like it's obviously set matches for Mania. It's a multiple. It's looking like it's setting up to a multiple match because we had Sammy confront Gunther, then we had Dom, then later on the day we have Rhea Ripley. Like Rhea Ripley plays a big part in this now.
she comes in to address what was going on with the the four lads from the Judgment Day, and she's given out because Dom wants to put himself into a match with Gunter. Then later on, Dom runs into Andrade El Idolo, and we all know the history, like with Rhea and Charlotte, who is Andrade's wife in real life. And then he talks to Dominic and says, "I'm talking about who my first match should be." And then he says, "See you later." So from the looks of things, because like just to skip ahead, later on then in Adam Pearce's office, we have he was talking to Bronson Reed, and then later he's talking to Chad Gable, and Chad Gable has made that he wants to be back in the Intercontinental title picture because he wants to win that title for what Gunter did, making him lose and making his daughter cry. So from the looks of things, we're getting a multi-man match. We're rumored to be getting 2 multi-man matches for the mid-card titles at WrestleMania.
WWE should draft Dom to the world. The Divas titles don't exist anymore, and Dom's a good heel. So no,
we've moved on from the Divas title. So yeah, from what I've heard in rumors, there is talk that the 2 mid-card title matches will be multi-man matches, with one of them being a ladder match. More likely to
5 weeks away on Saturday, 10 matches
made.
And then you just build it. There's 4 matches maybe made.
Yeah. There's 4 matches. Well, there's 4 matches definitely confirmed. We'll get a 5th match hopefully come SmackDown, but we'll get to that
could
later.
Be added to. You could so Baylor, Io is a one and only set in stone. The other 3 could be triple threats.
Well, hang on. No, they won't. No, Seth and Drew is set in stone. Seth and Drew is definitely set in stone.
I don't think it is.
They won't add Sammy. No, because why was Sammy then?
2 then, a whole 2 matches for the biggest Mania ever. Oh.
Well, hang on. 3 are set in stone. Hold on. 3 are set in stone. Cody and Roman, Seth and Drew, Bayley and Io. You think The Rock?
Reigns, Cody could be a triple threat with The Rock easily. Okay, 3 then. Whoa, 3 matches, the biggest Mania of all time.
Well, 4 if you're saying Raw, because we're still saying Becky and Rhea, and then 5 if you get Cody Rock.
Added 2. That could be added 2. This should be like saying 10, not 4.
But from the looks of things, from the mid-card titles, there is rumors we're getting a multi-man match, and the Intercontinental title will be a ladder match, which I'd be for. There hasn't been a ladder match for the Intercontinental title in a couple of years. Since WrestleMania 32.
I'm just looking. I put. That's what it was. That's why I'm confused. I put so I thought it was Ivar, but Imperium got a win, got a W against New Day in a street fight match.
I love this match.
This was good. It showed that Imperium can do more than just like serious grappling, wrestling. They can do anything.
That's what's going to set. They're going to be the guys that are going to take over from Judgment Day in the tag team division, because depending who's facing the Judgment Day at WrestleMania, whether it's Awesome Truth or DIY, Imperium will take their spot when they decide to break them up whenever they have Priest cash in. Oh, another message from Ramsey. Jeez, you're a popular lad, Ramsey.
Yes.
Gunter beat Gable by pin and Gable beat Gunter by countout. Yes. But from the looks of things, Gable and Gunter will meet again in a multi-man ladder match. So you could have Gunter defending the title with Sami Zayn, Dominic Mysterio, Chad Gable, Andrade, Bronson Reed, maybe Ivar, maybe one more to even up.
That does not say WrestleMania 42, mate.
That'd actually be a fun. That's a fun match. That's a fun match in itself, and especially if you have the ladders in there.
WrestleMania 40. It's a showcase of the Immortals. It's the biggest. It's a World Cup of Wrestling. It's a Super Bowl of wrestling.
But dude, at the end of the day, yeah, but Ricky, at the end of the day,
and Chad Gable on. Boring.
But who else are you expecting? Like, you're not going to get every wrestler from the past to come on and fill the spot. Like, this is the WrestleMania.
Go back to one night, I think.
But this is the WrestleMania for this generation. Like, those other people who had their generations, whether they saw Hogan body slam Andre or the Austin 316 era begin, or the boyhood dream come true in the first Iron Man match, they had their moments as well. It's time for this generation to have theirs. Every generation
is about any of them, and none of them say WrestleMania. They say very much mid-card and shouldn't even be on Mania unless it's a battle royal.
So Gable should finish his story and take the IC title at Mania.
Oh God, everybody's got a story.
I'd be for Gable taking it. I mean, Sami Zayn's already been Intercontinental title. Sami Zayn's already been Intercontinental Champion. I think he's ready for it. I think Gable is ready, but like Gunther's already competed in a ladder match because he competed in a ladder match in Madison Square Garden on December 26th in 2002, and he actually won it. He climbed the ladder. That was against, remember, it was Nakamura, Ricochet, and a few others, but he won the match. Anyway, should we get back to Raw? We had the tag.
Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark got another win against India Hartwell, Candice LeRae.
Crowd was half dead. Crowd was mostly dead in this match because they were coming off the excitement of the street fight with the New Day appearing, which was really good. And this is a thing I've noticed this in the women's tag team division matches. Whenever they've always come on after some exciting moment, and the crowd is not caring after that. Because like when the Rock and Jinder Mahal segment happened, we had a women's tag match with Natty and Tegan Knox versus Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, and the crowd wasn't invested in whatsoever.
Yeah,
there was another moment I can't remember, but then yeah, well, that street fight afterward, that street fight was just so good that the crowd just wasn't invested in the women's tag match after.
I'll say what I say week in, week out. Shayna Baszler should be a multi-time women's champion by now. Look what she can do in the ring. But for some reason, she does not push like that.
Yeah, she needs to be back because I know Hunter does like her, so.
And to end Raw, Cody Rhodes got the Grayson Waller rub. That was good of Grayson Waller.
We got him.
We've given Cody Rhodes the rub.
We had Seth and Drew first before the Cody Grayson Waller match.
I would totally forget. Okay, then. Oh no. Okay, we did, and we had. Oh yeah, we
well,
did.
No, like Drew.
Yeah, and
Drew
I forgot another match. So let's go back to that then. So Drew McIntyre came out. I'm gonna get okay. He keeps talking about CM Punk and what someone said on Facebook is Punk cost Drew the title at Mania, and Priest cashes in straight away. That's what could happen. Which was still leading to Rollins turning heel because Rollins was so focused on Cody that he didn't even think about the Judgment Day. He didn't think about Priest, which would still lead to Rollins turning heel.
It's more focused on the bloodline. But the other thing with Drew is that like the officials have been impressed. And once again, this week we are still getting mixed stories of whether Drew McIntyre has resigned with WWE.
Which we'll get onto that later as part of news here, but we'll get onto that later. Then Seth Rollins came out and he tried to make this feel like a big match at Mania, but he said himself this was a rematch from Crown Jewel of last year and day one of this year. But now all of a sudden it's big enough for Mania. No. But he tried his best to make it feel big, which it just isn't.
Both crowds were invested in both men. I'm looking forward to that match because I'm curious of how there are three ways this ends.
Not big enough for Mania.
Drew gets his moment in front of a crowd, or Punk costs him the title, or Priest cashes in. It's all a mystery at the moment. I'm looking forward to that one. See how that one turns out.
The other match I forgot was
Liv Morgan versus Nia.
Dealing by DQ with Nia Jax getting the win because Becky Lynch got involved. Becky Lynch is going to make it everything about her for some reason. That's what Liv Morgan said anyway. Oh God, you total mark. Dream match The Rock versus LA Knight at the what? Nice.
At the Nice.
What's that?
At the
Rock versus LA Knight is not a dream match.
Maybe he's saying it Mania.
That's
probably not going to happen now because it's probably not going to happen now because whatever they go with this match with this stuff with Cody and Roman, this is going to start to lead up to The Rock versus Roman next year. Then you can start to build for Rock and Roman next year, depending how things go with Cody.
So yeah, Nia Jax getting a DQ win. Okay, cool. What was your thoughts about this?
There was a big debate that happened after Elimination Chamber and leading into Raw, and everyone's asking this question: is Becky Lynch overpushed? And in my view, the whole thing, no, she's not overpushed whatsoever. Like Becky Lynch is not as overpushed. Like, yeah, she's one of the top female stars, but she's not as overpushed the way Charlotte Flair was overpushed.
The fact that she needs to be in every single segment. What's Nia Jax?
Well, there's still the issues between like microphone content.
Right. What? Make it make sense. Make this feel big. Nia Jax versus Becky Lynch next week. Boring. That does not build WrestleMania. I don't care about that match.
And then
Nia Jax
you
is
have
probably
either
losing. Becky's going to win. Build momentum. Boring.
Hang on. Well, there's two ways. There's another way this goes. Like, you have Liv Morgan cost Becky the match by DQ because we saw backstage when Becky was calling out Nia Jax, and then just Liv Morgan came out straight with this saying, "Not everything is about you. I'm just loving the anger in Liv Morgan. It's just straight down to the point." But Becky is not overput. I don't think that, because look, Becky has put more people over than Becky has put more people over than Charlotte Flair. I can give you many examples from that. Like, she put over Bianca Belair in a lot of those great matches at WrestleMania SummerSlam. She put over Tiffany Stratton in their feud in NXT. She's also put over Nia Jax. That's kind of started Nia Jax getting back on the strong end of things. And look, when she was NXT Women's Champion during that time, like, she helped get the likes of Tegan Knox and Xia Li on TV. Now, Tegan is only just in a tag team division, but that's not her fault. And Xia Li is disappeared.
She certainly put Taya over, but we'll get to Taya later here. LA Knight looks like
she also put over Zoe Stark in that Trish Stratus feud.
LA Knight looked like Stone Cold and Rocky at the Attitude Era. What?
Yes, we know that.
LA Knight. Are you comparing LA Knight and Stone Cold? No, Stone Cold, megastar, an actual megastar. One of the greatest of all time. Mount Rushmore of wrestling. Anyway, moving on. Like I said, Grayson Waller gave Cody Rhodes the Grayson Waller rub. How lucky was Cody Rhodes to get that? This just builds momentum heading into Mania. Paul Heyman came out with security that Cody beat up. Okay? So your thoughts on Cody beating Grayson and then security?
Well, yeah, I did expect him to get actually beaten up by the security after Elimination Chamber. Like, he held really, like, Cody had to really get through that one. But now we know he's kind of stepping up now and is calling himself the Bloodline Hunter. So I'm kind of liking that name now. So we know he's going to SmackDown because he's going to throw down the challenge to The Rock. Question is, though, why did Paul Heyman need two phones?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what people said. Well, no. One of the comments, someone said is Rock and Reigns don't have TV and live in a cave, apparently. But yeah, as Paul Heyman out of a conference call. Why does he need two phones? Yeah. Call Roman Reigns, call The Rock. You know, you can do it on the same phone. That's his gimmick. Way back in the day, he had that big phone, didn't he? So.
Yeah. But why didn't he just?
But it was an okay Raw. I'll give it a bronze. What's your rating for it?
I'm gonna say silver. I loved the street fight. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Tag match was very much dead in the water.
And we'll get to NXT, which is my second favorite show, week in, week out. Obviously, SmackDown, my favorite show, but NXT delivers weekly. We'll get into the big news here. Next time, phone call what? Solo call Jimmy. Okay.
One thing we actually skipped out on Raw. We saw just one thing. Just go back to Raw there for a couple of minutes. Another thing we skipped out. We saw a confrontation between Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso, because we had Jey Uso being interviewed after the Intercontinental title match with Gunther that Jimmy screwed him over on.
NXT, Ilya Dragunov came out. Camilla Hayes did. Carmelo had security, which Ilya beat up. Okay. Your thoughts on that? On Ilya and Carmelo?
Oh, I'd say that's going to be. They're going to have another good one. We know that this is all being set up for Trick Williams' return.
He costs Carmelo to lead to a match at Stand and Deliver. Kiana James picked up another win against Kalani Jordan. Okay.
Kalani Jordan got out of there quick as quick can be.
Oh, I can't read my own writing.
Maybe if you took off those glasses, they're too dark, you'd actually read it better.
It's nothing to do with being dark. It's more I write like a spider. I don't think you can even see that. Look at that.
Why don't you just type it out?
Just scribble. I do type it. I type the results up after NXT. NXT level up. So I type the results up weekly. But the club, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, made their NXT return, and they knocked off Idris Enofe and Malik Blade. This is a good match and a good win for them.
Yeah. Are we starting? Are we starting a new Bullet Club now that Tama Tonga has signed with WWE?
We'll get into that with Tama Tonga signing later on here. Chase U came out, cuts a promo. Nathan Fraser and Axiom did, and then LWO attacked. I do like they're still doing something with LWO. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, they're moving. They need to probably move them down to NXT because there is talk about a 6-man tag at WrestleMania with Mysterio, Carlito, and Dragon Lee versus Santos, Angel, and Humberto, which I actually know it'd be good, but I want to see Ray Santos 1-on-1 at WrestleMania.
Dijak defeated Luca Crucifino. I think I like Luca. He's decent in the ring, and I like that Dijak has continued to get wins.
Yeah, just will he resign is the question, because now he's going into Roadblock in the Asylum match against Joe Gacy. And like he responds to that by watching on Twitter, better watch old Dean Ambrose tapes. Because he was talking about the Asylum match that Dean had against Chris Jericho in 2016, Extreme Rules.
Yeah. Lyra Valkyria came out, grabbed the stick. Tatum Paxley did the same. And now next week they will take on the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag team titles. They're not winning this, and I think Tatum gets the pin here. But your thoughts on this promo?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where they're going to go now with this one. I'm like, it's going to be a good match. No, I don't expect Lyra to win because I couldn't see Kabuki Warriors losing tag titles closer to WrestleMania. But like, you either use this to have Tatum take the pin and then someone attacks Lyra to set up a match for Stand and Deliver, or you have Tatum turn on Lyra.
Maybe. Before we get into the big news here, Holland interrupted them. So, your thoughts, quick thoughts on what they're doing with Ridge at the moment?
I think there's still a lot of work to be coming. I was kind of seeing where he was going with this apology because I think he was talking about Ilya Dragunov. I was kind of wondering when he was called out Big E.
That's what I thought. This was up there. I'll try that again. That's what I thought. That's where this was going this week. He was going to say, "I'm sorry, Big E," and that's what I thought that's what he was going to say. But of course, we had the big return. So it's not Bo Dallas. It's not Tama Tonga. It's not anybody else. But it was none other than Sean Spears. Dortalia Dillinger is back in WWE. On Lucky Tony Khan.
This was a big moment. Like, this was a very good moment now. Like, because this. So apparently, like, Ty Dillinger's Sean Spears' contract with AEW ran out in January 1st. It had been announced that he had left the company in December, and then he was very quiet for a while. And then a lot of speculation was going, "Oh, he's going to return at the Royal Rumble. He's going to enter in at number 10." Then there was talk that he was talking to Scott D'Amore before he got sacked from TNA. So that altered the plan because him and his wife Cassie Lee, who apparently she was at the Elimination Chamber with Billie Kay, but they didn't compete now because they're both pregnant. She was at it. They're supposed to make an appearance there. But then, just by surprise from those promos, like he came out, he chaired Ridge Holland. It was just done really well. Shawn Michaels was behind a lot of it. So I'm glad he's back there now. Like, this is the 5th person from AEW that has gone and followed Cody out of AEW into WWE.
Followed Cody, but he's there for money. And
well, yeah,
to booking. Didn't get exactly well booked in AEW.
He has a kid to supply for, yeah, but like he is at the end of the day friends with Cody. I mean, we saw the reaction from people. Like we saw Jessica McKay give him a reaction. We saw Cody Rhodes say perfect 10.
He's there purely for that. They're
Yeah.
not doing this
And
for
he's
free.
like, yeah.
Nothing to do with
Oh, I know.
Cody
Yeah,
at
nobody.
all.
Well, he's
In fact,
friends with.
Cody
Well,
in
he
the
is friends
past
with
has said
Cody.
Sean Spears is dangerous. Nothing. He's not there because Cody's
Yeah,
there.
we know.
He's there
We
because
know the
he's getting
chair. We know
paid.
about the chair. Yeah, we know about the chair
He's
shot Cody. We wouldn't say chair shot Cody took in 2019, the match with Sean
Sean
Spears.
Spears or anybody else isn't there because Cody's there. They're there because they're getting paid.
One
They weren't
thing,
getting
the thing
paid.
I
They
like,
won't be there.
the thing I like the most about this is that all the people that have come from AEW into WWE, well, apart from Lexus Brian Pillman Jr., who's now Lexus King, they're allowed to keep their own names. Triple H is very lenient on names. Like, we're seeing that with Andrade. We've seen that with Jade
Oh, yeah.
Cargill. We've seen that with now Sean Spears. Like, well, no, Blair Davenport, like, she was AEW as well, but she went under a different name.
Who?
Blair Davenport, who competes in the golf woman in NXT.
I know who she is, but who she was in
He went under
AEW, I don't know. And with
I look
CM
up-
Punk,
I
you're
look
going
up
to
at
change
the
CM.
back
Yeah. See, you're not going to change CM Punk's name, are you? You're going to call him
No, you
Phil,
can't.
Phil Spence, Phil Smith. Here comes Phil Smith.
It also kind of makes you wonder as well, like, if a lot of
But
Dark's a couple of weeks ago.
moving along here, Roxanne Perez. Who did she beat this week? Oh my God, what have I forgotten? She beat. Ugh.
Beatrice,
Who did,
she used to call Beatrice Pre.
who did? What have I forgot?
Blair Davenport used to be called Independence and in AEW.
Oh, Jakari Jackson. So Jakari Jackson took the loss to Roxanne Perez. Okay.
Like in Dark
I
Rox-
like what Roxanne's doing, I suppose. What's your thoughts on it?
I'm liking what the Dark Roxanne. I'm like that they're taking her away from this good little girl into the dark side. Like, it's like the situation with Bailey. Like, Bailey was all the good girl. She was hugging people. She had the Bailey buddies. Then in 2019 she turned heel, and that's kind of like got the girl to evolve into a woman, and like, it's done wonders for her.
Von Wagner with a very much needed win over Lexus King. Also, when I say and every week, he's just a big guy. He tried everything he can with him. He got a head injury with Ron Breaker. If the kids are really Robert Son's real kids, I don't know, don't care. But they're supporting him. So they're trying everything they can with Von. None of it's working. You got to win over Lexus King. Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Von Wagner now, I have to say. Yeah, he is a typical big man, but like, I suppose they're going to give him this win to progress whatever story they're going with Lexus King, but more likely he will end up losing this feud.
Judea Parker with a W against Gigi Dolan. Gigi very much.
Yeah, that's thanks to that was thanks to Ariana. What's her name? Santino's daughter, Ariana.
Grace. Yeah.
Ariana Grace. She's funny. I'm liking Ariana Grace. She's quite funny. She's quite.
And the same gimmick, Mrs. NXT, and her father was Miss WrestleMania.
Santina. Yeah, like, she's working on that. I'm kind of wonder if he'll ever go to be with his daughter in NXT.
Just sit and think for that for a minute. A man won the women's battle royal.
Yeah, very dark times back then. Very, very silly dark times. It kind of makes you wonder, would he come back to be in her corner?
He was in. He's doing Impact now, isn't he? Or is he not?
Yeah, he's in Impact, and he does a few indie shows. Like, he was over at OTT at one time. Yeah, he's on Impact.
I know he was in drag, but he was still a man, and he still won the women's battle royal. Anyway, let's quickly move on here. A new Heritage Cup champion. He's 700. I don't know. Is it the day I need to do it? Vic Joseph said on commentary, way over 700 days. No one's had the cup, but finally lost it, and he lost it to Charlie Dempsey. Big win for Charlie Dempsey. He's going to be pushed, and so is No Catch Quarter Crew, or whatever the bloody call.
No Catch Quarter Crew. Basically based on Catch Can Wrestling, yeah. No, I like this match. I was glad to see Charlie Dempsey finally getting a bit of gold. Kind of sad though that William Regal didn't come out with him though.
Maybe it was just a one-off all those couple of weeks ago, however long it was. And to close up and to finish off this week's NXT contract signing, Carmelo Hayes came out, Ilya Dragunov did, and then Tony D'Angelo did, and it's leading to a match. Tony D'Angelo, Carmelo Hayes next week. Winner goes on to face Ilya at Stand and Deliver. So yeah, decent way to finish off NXT. Your thoughts
There was
on
one
this?
thing. There was one thing we didn't point out as well. Like it was during when it was in Ava Rain's. It was in Ava Rain's office. She was on the phone, and then Oba comes in, and he's looking for his next challenger, and then Ilya Dragunov comes in, and like, are they going to set that up for Stand and Deliver Oba versus Ilya?
I only kind of cover what happens in the ring, or if like Raw's going to be on Netflix, something like that, kind of small news. Well, not small news, it's huge news. Raw signing going to Netflix, but yeah, okay. So your thoughts on the contract signing?
Yeah, it was fine. Like, is the Dom though going to be a worthy opponent for? Is the Dom going to be a worthy opponent for Ilya though? After this match with Carmelo,
you're going to do Hayes versus Trick. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you're gonna have Hayes. You'll have Hayes lose, and then you set up Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams, and that's your main event for Stand and Deliver.
The main event will be for the title, Ilya versus, I guess, Tony D'Angelo.
There is, but like we see this thing with NXT where there are these stories that you get invested in, and they main event over the title match. Like we saw that with the Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa feud, and that main evented over Aleister Black versus Andrade for the title. We saw it with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, and that was main eventing over title matches. We could see it with Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes.
We'll see. Anyway, for the rating for NXT, I'll say a gold. Again, a very good NXT this week.
Silver kind of started. The matches were good, but it started off a bit slow. It just didn't pick up until the second hour.
So I'm going to take a quick toilet break, but in the meantime, I'll play this, and then we'll get into the fantastic Mania card. Getting some predictions here and some news here, but I'll play this first. Give me a second. So I'll play this once I find it. Give me a second, and there we are.
Welcome to my store on Pro Wrestling Tees. Check out my beautiful dog logo on this black t-shirt, or how about this waffle on this gold nice t-shirt we have here. And here are a few other designs. We got some on white, some on sand, two-sided shirts. Don't forget to search Billy Ray Dog on Pro Wrestling Tees. Billy Ray Dog on Pro Wrestling Tees. With that on Pro Wrestling Tees, more shirts are always coming.
So that is right. On my socials in video and then picture form, Protein Tees, Billy Ray Dog. So let's get into the wonderful Mania cards of 4 matches. We'll just say the set. None of which say WrestleMania to me, but let's go from go from will they all be good matches? Yes. Are they big moments for talent? Yes. Do
It's a
any of
big
them say
moment
WrestleMania? Hell
it's
no. So
Well, it's WrestleMania.
Bailey versus EO. Ugh. Does that
I'm
grow
looking
the
forward to this one.
audience? Who's that pulling in?
I'm looking-
Nobody cares.
well, it's pulling in the fans of Bailey and EO. Like, this is a big moment. Like, this is EO's
People will watch
second.
Mania anyway. Those ones.
But like, this is for ones who are fans of this generation. I mean, like, who want to see these people.
Not a
Like,
WrestleMania
it's
match.
their time to shine.
I would,
It's their time to shine. It's their time to shine now. The older generation is gone. We don't have a Brock Lesnar. We don't have Vince having a say. It's time for this talent to shine. Yeah, Bailey and EO, that could go either way really, because let's see now where they go with on SmackDown, because we're having Dakota Kai and Bailey teaming up to take on the Kabuki Wars. We're going to see now whether Dakota is going to turn on Bailey or is she going to stick with her. Like, but I'd say more likely she'll turn on her. So no, I'm looking forward to this. They need to do more for Bailey, because she wasn't on the WrestleMania 40 poster for a while, and then she was left off the WrestleMania press conference. They need to do more for her. Like, everyone like is focusing on Cody or Seth or Becky. Let them do more for Bailey as well.
right, but Bailey versus EO isn't above a SmackDown match. Definitely not WrestleMania, and definitely not WrestleMania.
There's a good story to it, though.
The biggest Mania of all time, the biggest pay-per-view of all time, the biggest show of all time, which this is WrestleMania, biggest show of all time. Bailey versus EO does not say WrestleMania.
But here's the thing, Ricky. Like, you're going to be saying this over. Here's the thing. But here's the thing. For the next few weeks, Ricky, I know you're going to be always saying about this. Like, are you wanting WrestleMania just to be like more about the nostalgia of the past and the present?
No, I want big matches, which none of these are.
Yeah, but like, it depends on what you call a big match. Yeah, like you can call Cody Rock. Yeah, that's going to be a big match. You call Cody Roman a big match as well. Yeah.
I think it'd be a tag team match. That's only big because of The Rock. Reigns Cody, which we'll get to, is only big because of Reigns, but that's not a big. We'll get so Becky versus Rhea. For me, no. Is that above a Raw match? No.
I think this one is above a Raw match for like many reasons. Like, they've been planting the seeds like this since late 2022, when they had that stare off with Becky and Rhea. Remember that big stare off they had, and you just think, oh, that's going to be at this year's WrestleMania, and they didn't go ahead with it. They put Becky in the tag match with Trish and Lita, and they put Rhea in the match with Charlotte, which was the better match at the time. And then they had that confrontation in the Women's War Games match in 2022. And now the seeds are coming to light. That I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I don't think Liv Morgan or Nia Jax needs to be added into it whatsoever. I love Liv, but she's going to have to wait a few months till, say, SummerSlam to get her shot. Give Liv something with Nia Jax, and then, or put her in a tag match with Raquel, and then she's got it covered. But just to go back on Becky and Rhea, what I'm looking forward to is how this match could turn out. Like, we saw how over Rhea Ripley has gotten now, like, and now in a match with Becky Lynch, who is still over as well. Here's a question: do you pull a double turn?
I don't know, but my question is this big enough for WrestleMania 40?
I think
Hell no.
I think it is.
Would this be able to play it on a Saudi show? No. Would it be able to play it at Backlash? No. WrestleMania 40, the biggest show in history. If that's what WrestleMania 40 is, the biggest show in history to date. This is nowhere near big enough. Not
but
at
I think
all.
It is for like different. Like, you have two of the most international wrestlers who've gotten over in the biggest American wrestling company in the world. We've seen how over Becky is. We've seen how over Rhea is. We see how much of like badasses.
Hardcore fans will sit and watch no matter what. The hardcore fans would watch if Akira Tozawa and Ivar was a main event. There was crap all over it. Still to watch. Your casual fans don't care. Not growing the audience, and definitely doesn't say WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania. I don't think Rhea versus Becky. I think.
But what would you do then? Here's the thing: like, you're saying all this stuff, that what's big and what's not big. What would you do? Like, are you asking them to call back Trish Stratus and Lita, saying, "Hey, we don't have anybody over. Will you work?"
Bring back Trish.
That's not going to work. That's not going to work all the time. You can't always.
Right.
This is
look
a transfer.
Last year's. last year's WrestleMania, it doesn't matter why people are gone or whatever. Cena's making movies, Brock Lesnar's gone because of the Vince stuff, but you had Cena, Brock, Edge, Ray, Lita, Trish. This you've got Logan and Reigns. Well, whoopee day.
Yeah, you have that, but like here's the thing. We always knew that there's going to go some point when Triple H took over creative and new management would come in after Vince, that they weren't always going to compete depending on the legends of the past and give the stars of today. You have to move, that's how
star power. That's zero star power this year.
That's how things work. You have to keep moving forward. You can't always keep looking back and calling in your past talent. You have to give the talent of the day a moment. You have to give generation
about the big moments, the big stars.
You have to give this generation a moment so they can look back on and talk to the next generation and the next, etc. Let them talk about their time. You can't always keep living off moments like Hogan body slamming Andre or Austin winning his first title. You have to move forward and not move backwards.
But to me, does Rhea versus Becky say at WrestleMania? Not all, not in the slightest. It's on above a Backlash match. If this was on a SummerSlam, would you think, no, it should be on Mania? I wouldn't. Boring. This is to me boring.
One thing I want to see from this is there going to be a double turn between Rhea and Becky in the vein like of Brett and Austin, where Becky couldn't beat Rhea. She had to put her in disarmor and Rhea had to pass out. And then you have the fans, you have Rhea now mega face and then you have Becky mega heel. Or another idea is that could Dominic cost her the title and then she breaks away from Dom and the Judgment Day to start her own? Like, because Rhea is totally over now. So
couldn't care less again. The legends will make it bigger, but to me, this is not above a SummerSlam at best.
No, Rhea versus
WrestleMania 40. I would expect all the legends to be there. Hogan, Austin, as many legends as you can get, be it this year's Mania some capacity.
You can have them there, but just make sure that the talent is the focus. The talent of today is the focus in the ring because it's their time now.
You mean the talent they haven't built, and this is why WWE haven't built any stars, and Becky Lynch and Roman Reigns, Becky Rollins and all that aren't stars outside the bubble, outside of WWE. People have no idea who they are.
But here's the thing: like you're not asking them. Like, not every wrestler wants to. Not every wrestler can be a movie star or TV star. They have to still do a thing they love the most. So not every wrestler can be a movie star.
So they don't want to go into what? So they don't want to go into movies that make them money.
But there are some,
and they become an actual household name. They don't want that.
But that's the thing in life. Like, not everybody wants to be a movie star. Like, you have Becky Lynch there. Like, she wants to be someone.
They don't want to be a movie star. Then they're complete idiots. If they don't want to be in movies, if they don't want to be The Rock, idiots. If they don't want the money The Rock made and the stardom he has, they're fucking idiots.
But they're not every wrestler can be a movie star. Not every wrestler can be a top movie star. I mean, Austin was one of the most popular names in the world with The Rock. And he only had smaller roles. And most of the time, he's in B movies with people like Steven Seagal, or he's in films that are not like Adam Sandler comedies or in other things. Like, he's not a leading man. Like, he's more like B movie leading man. I mean, like, The Rock is like,
should be the goal.
You can't call The Rock A-list.
Movies. The movies should
you can't call The Rock A-list.
The goal should be movies.
But not every wrestler's goal is
outside the wrestling bubble, outside the wrestling world, outside of WWE.
Although Becky was supposed to do movies, but we all know what happened there. But like, she had a cameo in Young Rock. She played Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, whoopee do, Freya, megastar. Again, outside of the bubble, nobody knows who Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, Vince, Drew, any of these people are. The stars inside the bubble, the stars inside WWE. Outside, who's Drew McIntyre? An absolute no mark. On to Drew McIntyre versus Rollins, and Rollins himself said, well, this is a rematch from Crown Jewel and a rematch from this year's Day One. But now all of a sudden it's big enough for Mania. If Drew gets his moment, cool. Great. But is it big enough for WrestleMania? No.
I think it is. Like, I think it's well earned. Like, if you're giving Drew his moment, you're saying it's his way of keeping him in the company to resign and saying thank you for covering the company during the pandemic era. It's the same with Bailey and Io. Like Bailey is getting her reward for the part she played during the pandemic era.
I don't care about them getting a reward. I care about big matches, and Drew versus Rollins is no way. He main evented Raw. How is it now, 3 months later, big enough for Mania?
Because like Drew has really stepped up as a heel. I suppose it was when he destroyed CM Punk that he's really started to step up. I'm just loving what he is doing as a heel.
So Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre really says WrestleMania to me. When I think WrestleMania, stars, Showcase of the Mortals, Super Bowl of Wrestling. Are we getting Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins? Shoot me now. And of course, the main event, unless it gets added to, and the rumors are coming out today that thank God Cody's losing, which I already thought he would. Which I said he would.
We're still always going to get those
rumors.
Rollins
is going to turn on him because Reigns is surpassing Hogan. Anyway, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes rematch from Mania does not say main event to me. Take out Reigns. He's a main event because of Reigns. Take out him. Ugh, boring.
But here's the thing: you're so caught up with the idea of Seth betraying Cody. What about the idea of Rock betraying Roman and setting up Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41? To set up Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41, you have the Rock turn face, you have Roman turn heel, or the other way around, whatever way you want to look at it. And then that sets up, and then that starts a long build for WrestleMania 41. And then you could have Cody versus Seth at WrestleMania 41.
Rollins has been treated as second best. Rollins has been treated as second best by Cody. He's turning heel. I can't remember I said it to you or not.
I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to a bit of a podcast yesterday on YouTube about Seth Rollins, and there's a chap there saying about Seth Rollins' contract that he hope he doesn't resign, which I disagree. I think he will resign. But do you think he's placed in being second best at the moment in his position within the company?
Cody has treated him as second best.
But do you think at the moment, does he kind of feel placed within the company as being the second place champion?
Let's just skip past that. Cody, since the Rumble, has treated Rollins as if he doesn't exist. I said, pointing at Reigns on SmackDown, said, I want that title. At the press conference, he was forgotten about. At Chamber, Rollins turned heel, because what did he say? Cody can do what he likes. There we go. That's the start of the heel turn. He's turning heel.
I would like to see
from Rollins at Mania.
I have been thinking about a good bit about what you're saying about Rollins turning heel. I'm thinking, not because of Cody winning, why do it now? I mean, why save it for next WrestleMania after Rollins loses the title and he heals himself up and he fails to get the world title back, and then he wins the Chamber to be the number one contender at WrestleMania 41. Then you have him turn heel, and you could say that.
No, he's turning heel this year, Mania. No. What's going to happen?
Hang on, can I speak first? You said
Cody, because Rollins has because Cody's treating him as second best. Also, his focus has been the bloodline, not Drew, not the Damian Priest, but the bloodline. What Cody wants, Cody gets apparently because he's king, he's God.
Hang on, can I just say
Rollins is focused on what Cody wants, and that's what's going to turn him heel. He's going to lose the world title at Mania, be your opening match or your main event. I'd have it as your opening match. I think Rock Reigns versus Cody and Rollins is your main event, which they lose. Rollins which gets pinned. Cody won't be there to get the tag because he's been taken out by the bloodline. He reached for the tag, turned around, spear. And that's the reason he turns heel. Where was Cody when Rollins needed him? Cody, the bloodline will be there. Solo and Jimmy. Out comes Jay to try and The Rock. So out comes Jay to try and even the odds. He's outnumbered. Out comes Rollins. You think, this is it. Cody's winning. No, low blow, spear. 1, 2, 3. Reigns wins again. And Rollins turns heel on the following Raw. You could even have him leave and say, and turn heel then and properly heel and leave and say, I'm leaving. You fans don't deserve me. You don't deserve me to. Cody could come out and say, I want a rematch. in these protests when they say, no, you don't deserve it, leaves for a few months, and there you go. What they do with Cody, I don't know. But he turns
you see, that's where the
Reigns walks out champion at Mania.
You don't have to give anything to give to Cody if Rollins goes to negotiate his new contract and heal up, and Reigns has gone to at least the summer, and then The Rock has gone back to being back on the board. Like, what do you do from there?
Rock will probably never come back again. Well, hopefully come back again, but
that's where you have to have. This is where you have to have The Rock turn on the bloodline, and then you can start setting up the moment. You can have The Rock turn on the bloodline, have Cody finally win his moment,
but
and then
this clause in April, what we're May, June, July, August, 4 or 5 months. Why would you not just have him surpass Hogan? I think that's what happens.
But then, like,
and he healed him from Rollins. It cost Rollins.
The problem is then, like, you don't have anything to give to Cody because you've lost Rollins to go out and heal and sign a new deal. You have Reigns gone for a while. Yeah, you'll have Cody main eventing for a bit, but who do you give him? So that's where the problem lies. The other backup option may be to set up to have Cody versus The Rock 1-on-1. Cody wins. The Rock somehow comes to his senses and turns on the bloodline with Seth Rollins. You have Cody win. He turns on Rock turns on Roman, and then you can start to build for WrestleMania 41. As far as Cody goes, you could have Cody versus Seth. You turn Seth heel, and then you explain that last year you made me feel second best. This year I'm going to become the first best and beat you at WrestleMania.
Right. So none of that's going to happen. What is going to happen is Rollins will turn heel,
and
then The Rock turns face. You can still have The Rock turning face on Reigns after he wins the match. After he's champion.
But what won't be the reason for The Rock turning face though? Like, I mean, everyone said that The Rock turning heel after the Cody thing didn't make sense. What would the way for The Rock what would be the way for The Rock to turn face without making sense because of the whole thing with Roman? You have to find a way to make it look sense. So
next year or set up next year, probably.
Have the Rock turn on the bloodline and cost Roman the title, because Rock versus Roman doesn't need to be for the title.
No, but it will be. Anyway, let's get into some predictions here. So,
again,
I'll be giving my predictions for Sunday for the watch party, but we'll do Ian's predictions here. So, the fantastic, wonderful card for Revolution. But let me play this first. So AEW preview, which of course is Revolution. None of these matches, I wouldn't be look out to place on TV. Be it, what did we forget? Collision and Rampage. We forgot those, didn't we? So let's go back and quickly go over those.
All right, go on. I didn't see either show, by the way. I might watch Collision tonight. Well, when there's so much big stories, you can't kind of skip that.
If you miss wrestling, then I don't miss any wrestling. I watch everything of WWE. Well, not watch everything of WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, pay-per-views. I'll check main events and level up results. If you're missing wrestling, then not much of a fan. Anyway, so on Rampage, Brian Keith, Penta, and Commander came out on top against Top Flight and Action Andretti, Matt Sydal, and Private Party. Your quick thoughts on that?
I didn't see Rampage, but I could have an idea how that was done. Like, you'd expect a lot of dives, a lot of high flying, so you'd expect a fun match out of it.
Just purely on results, what's your thoughts? Just Brian Keith and his team getting the win.
Brian Keith was actually writing to us. He was watching the podcast. Remember a few weeks ago he was watching. I think
that
it was
after, a real Brian Keith.
It was the show after. It might have been. It was the show after the time we took time off for Valentine's Day.
Johnny Lyons and Cappuccino Jones. Who the hell are they? Anyway, they took a L to the Young Bucks.
As expected with the Young Bucks.
Well, I don't even know who they beat. Anna Jay continues losing weight because she lost this time to Maria May.
Okay.
And your main event on Rampage, Roderick Strong builds momentum heading into this weekend, and he beat someone I'm going to be beating this weekend, and that is Jake Hager.
Oh, yeah, there was a weird set. I wonder how that match went, because there was a weird moment when like Jake Hager came to help Orange Cassidy against the Undisputed Kingdom after they attacked him after the Cassidy Mike Bennett match. And like, oh, because he's an Oklahoma boy, so.
So for Rampage, I'll say a bronze. Quickly moving into Collision, Sammy Guevara came up short against Powerhouse Hobbs, so he's building momentum heading into this weekend. Your thoughts on that?
Is he on? Yeah, he's on the Meaty Men match at Revolution.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Men. It's a big. I'll tell you about that one later. It's on the card. It's on the
FTR building a bit of momentum against Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty.
That's good. Yeah, well, that's going to be. Well, they're always going to win that. I cannot wait for that match against Claudio and Moxley.
Awful. That every match is gonna be awful, but anyway. Thunder Rosa took a W against Lady Bird Monroe. Who? Who's that?
I have not got a clue.
Having these complete jobbers.
But they're just people they're getting out of the independents. So people coming from the independents.
The Iron Savages. Have you heard of the Iron Savages?
No, not yet. Until now.
Neither have I. Because they took a loss to the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Malachi Black defeated Brian Keith. Serena Deeb also did the same to Lady Frost. And in your main event for Collision, Bryan Danielson defeated Jun Akiyama. Again, just your quick thoughts on all that.
Oh, the Bryan Danielson match. I heard it was a very good match now. And then I was watching the Dynamite, the AEW preview show for Revolution Week, and I saw the ending with Bryan Danielson versus, repeat his name again? Because I might watch this later.
Jun Akiyama.
Yeah, Jun Akiyama.
Yeah, purely based on results, I'll say a bronze. So let's get into finally prediction. We'll do this one again. None of these matches will carry to place on TV. Anyway, FTR versus Blackpool Combat Club. Your thought? Who's winning this?
It's a tough one to call at the moment because they had a really good match at Dynamite last week. So it's tough to call, but I'm kind of going to say, I want to say FTR. Because whoever wins this will obviously be back in the tag team title hunt. I'm going to say FTR.
In a meat madness match, which I presume is just
big men,
slapping meat, whatever. Who cares? These are all three irrelevant people. Anyway, in Triple Threat,
meaty men with big arms and their big chest, big meaty men, slap meat. Play Big E for that.
That's not Roman Reigns. Anyway, Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Lance Archer. Who cares?
Anyway, I'm gonna say Wardlow. Like, there was one thing you didn't cover from Dynamite last week was the pipe bomb that Wardlow threw out there.
I don't watch Dynamite, so I wouldn't have no idea.
Like he threw it.
Never
like
watched
Wardlow
it,
threw
ever.
Out,
it's awful.
Wardlow threw out this brilliant pipe bomb on Dynamite last week where he referenced that he took the best in the world and he's still broken to this day. He took a man who said he was better than everyone, and he's not, and he's gone. And then he talked about how he beat Samoa Joe. Like he wants to be in that title.
We're getting to the bit where he mentions Reigns here. No, okay, right. I don't know. Will Ospreay making his official AEW debut.
Oh, there's a lot of hype around this.
Takeshita.
There's a lot of hype around this match now. Don Callis is bringing Will Ospreay out tonight on Dynamite. I'm going to say Will Ospreay will win this one. I think he's going to break away from Don Callis.
So far, not one match big enough for pay-per-view. Cassidy defends against Roderick Strong, defends the International Championship. I don't know how long Cassidy been champion for, but come on, who's winning?
About September, end of September. Everyone is kind of thinking Roderick Strong is winning. They're seeing like that Roderick Strong is good, but I think this is the kind of thing where Roderick Strong is underestimating Orange Cassidy. So I'm going to say Cassidy to retain.
Going into another title match, Daniel Garcia challenged DNT title Christian Cage.
I'm going to say Christian Cage to retain because they want to go back to the Edge feud because Edge is injured again. So whenever they get Edge back, if they have the match at Double or Nothing in May, so I'd say Christian to retain.
Another title match for the Continental Championship, 1-on-1, Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson. This will be good, but again, so far not one match. Anyway, who's winning this?
One thing he has to do is he has to shake his hand. So I'm going to say Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. For this women's champion, Perazzo go after Tony Storm.
I'm going to say Tony Storm retains. Here's one thing though is question, like, because we're still expecting certain people to come, because like a couple of weeks time we have AEW Big Business, which is going to be in Boston. Everyone is thinking Mercedes Moné is going to show up. One person I'm kind of hoping shows up at Revolution is Jamie Hayter. She's been gone since last year, and she hasn't made a comeback yet. So I'm kind of hoping she's come back. She still hasn't title. She hasn't regained yet.
Okay. I don't know what will be the main event, but we'll go to this one next. For the AEW Men's Championship, what's set now, regardless who's injured, whatever, don't care. Completely irrelevant. Anyway, Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, triple threat.
I'm going to say Joe to retain. I think Hangman will take the page if he can make it too, because Swerve is totally hogging on AEW, and you can't have him take a pin.
And possibly be the main event, the AEW Tag Team titles, the Young Bucks challenge Sting and Darby Allin.
Going into this, I was kind of thinking the Young Bucks will probably, now that Sting and Darby have the tag titles, I was kind of thinking the Young Bucks will win. But because since Sting's sons have been brought into it and they were attacked by the Young Bucks, then you had the death of Sting's father last week, which he spoke about in an excellent promo on Dynamite. You have to have Sting win this to give him one more moment of victory and to honor the memory of his father, like, and just give him that last win to get for the last cowboy, for the last outlaw to take a ride into the sunset. You have to let him have his moment, because we've seen stuff like this, like with the Undertaker, when we found out that the Boneyard match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36 was going to be his last match. They had him win and had him ride out from the graveyard and back onto the street into the sunset.
And I care.
So you have to have Sting have this moment there.
Right, and I care about his father because I don't. Couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if his whole family died.
Jesus,
couldn't care less. Do you care?
I wouldn't say that. I probably wouldn't say that now because you'll meet someone. I wouldn't say that now.
That doesn't impact my life. Well, I'll do my prediction on this. I think Sting and Darby win. I think Sting gives it to kind of just relinquishes. But yeah, no matches will carry to place on TV, I don't think. So, final segment here, we've kind of covered some of this already, but the final segment is news and headlines, kind of covering, continue from next week. So more stuff has come out about Stephanie McMahon. She not only knew about the Vince stuff, but she tried to cover it up. Oh dear. Your thoughts on this?
So who's saying it now?
I don't know, but
well, you see, this is the thing. Like everyone, one of the stories that did come out this week is apparently that Triple H had Caitlyn sign an NDA a non-disclosure agreement. And Joe, who the source that came out with this one was?
Dear Meltzer.
Ryback.
I don't know who.
Ryback. It was Ryback.
Right.
Ryback has been saying a lot of gossip about, like he's even said gossip on Renee Dupree's post. So I don't think, but it's Ryback, so you can't be 100% confirmed, and there's no source, so we don't know.
Wonderful. With Stephanie, apparently, she not only knew about the Vince stuff, but covered it up. So again, like I said, your thoughts.
Well, when is Stephanie going to give a statement on the whole thing? Like, because we're hearing all this stuff from people, from XD women on WWE, and we're hearing on social media, and we're not getting an official source. So when is Stephanie actually going to address the situation? And then we have people like Ryback saying that Triple H had Caitlyn sign a non-disclosure agreement with WWE and other women, and everyone is now thinking that he's going to be renewed. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't listen to Ryback. He's on the Wrestling Reporter. He's someone trying to get attention, and people give him attention and go, "Oh, look what he said." Don't care. He's not Sean Ross Sapp. He's not Dave. He's not Sean Ross Sapp. He's not Dave Meltzer. He's not the other written reporters out there. He's trying to look for attention, and people give him attention.
It's not just him, but it's not just him looking for attention. It's Renee Dupree as well. He's getting his part on it as well.
Right. So then I think this would mean that Triple H definitely knew about it.
We don't know yet. We're only going by word of mouth until there's an official source. We have to take that it's just word of mouth, and it's just going to look for attention.
So not so much news, but we'll discuss it anyway. Apparently, well, we'll go with the current news. Drew McIntyre has indeed signed a deal.
That did come out as well. And that did come out, and then the Daily Mail had to rebunk it because apparently a new report claimed that he hasn't resigned yet with WWE, and his contract expires after WrestleMania.
Let's go with the latest thing that I read, and that was he has. So if he has, your thoughts on that?
If he has resigned, yeah, I think he should resign. I think if he is resigning, then he's getting the title at WrestleMania.
I think Punk's cruising, but let's see. Tama Tonga has now signed with WWE. I've heard of the name, but apart from that, no idea. I know he did New Japan, but
he is the father of
your thoughts on this?
Rikishi. He was the father of one of Rikishi's tag team partners.
He's Haku's.
Yeah.
Haku's his uncle and adopted father.
Yeah. There's no major connection between him and the Iona family, so he's not totally related to Reigns or Rock. But this is a big signing indeed. It's a big signing for WWE from someone who was with New Japan for 14 years, especially when AEW is getting the likes of Jay White and Will Ospreay and Okada. This is a big signing for them. Like, I don't think he'll be part of the Bloodline. I think he'll move to NXT to be with. His main history was with the Bullet Club, so I could see him forming a new Bullet Club with Gallows and Anderson. That's why they're down there.
The final piece of news, a bit of sad news here. It says WWE legend, but I won't call him a legend, but whatever. Virgil passed away today. I was lucky enough to meet Virgil. They don't care.
Ollie Anderson passed away as well.
Jokes. I've seen the jokes. I've seen the memes on social media. Like,
all the
he set up his merch stand over Vince's store on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and the meme is nobody wants to meet him, and he'll just try and sell anything. As long as he can sell it, he'll make a bit of money. But still sad.
Ollie Anderson passed away as well this week.
So
Ollie Anderson passed away.
I won't call it all Anderson. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, Virgil
had a tough life after WWE, unfortunately. Like, he was always doing other stuff he could to make money because he was really vexed financially.
But like the joke was, lonely Virgil, nobody wanted to meet him because he just, like I said, tried to sell anything, and just apparently what he would do is he would say, Like he would get a picture and he would say, "Oh, what's your name?" Bob, for example. Okay, right, Bob. Say, right then, now pay me for it, because he can't sell that to anybody else. So you'd have to pay, and that's how he would make money. So not the best way to make money in the world.
Oh no.
That's probably what he did.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
But I don't know if you've seen it. He set up his merch thing over Vince's store on a Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I just thought, well, that's not that he was going to go in the Hall of Fame anyway, but that's the kind of guarantee he's never going in. Do you think he does Hall of Fame?
I think he should have come, like his history with the $1 Million Man would probably play a part in getting him in the Hall of Fame.
And also that in the Hall of Fame, again, 5 weeks really isn't that long. 5 weeks flies by.
I'd say they'll come. We'll get it built. They will get it built. So just give it time. Like
5 weeks is
not,
5 weeks is really nothing. It's 3-4 more Raws. Like it's nothing. But the Hall of Fame, no announcement for that either. I think Bray's meant to be going in, but
yeah, I'd say he's going in.
Yeah. The headliner would say The Rock. Is Heyman big enough to main event?
No, if The Rock is facing Cody, then I think he's not going to the Hall of Fame until next year.
Why? Was Ray didn't go in last year, did he not?
No.
Ric Flair.
No, he did go last year, yeah.
And Ric Flair didn't go in when he faced Shawn Michaels. That didn't happen either.
Oh, yeah.
It did. And Goldberg didn't go in. Did he go in before he faced Lesnar? I don't know. Can't remember. The Rock won't be taking on Cody to be a tag team match, I would have thought. I would have thought it'd be a tag team match, if anything. Cody beat The Rock and then Reigns. Oh, no. Again, not growing the audience. But Cody does not grow the audience, and that's what WWE wants.
No, that's all the fans who've been chanting his name and just scream from her. The reaction he got at Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
You
mean the ones that already watched? Those ones. No. The ones chanting his name are the ones that already watch and will continue to watch. If he loses at Mania, guess what? We'll continue to watch. So now it doesn't grow the bubble. They're the ones week in, week out, no matter what. Cody does not grow WWE at all because nobody knows who he is. When I say nobody, I don't mean not one person on the planet. It's not he turns up on Raw and goes, who's that? It's in the world. Outside the WWE, if I went down the street and said Cody Rhodes, people would look at me blankly. So in the world of WWE, he might be a big name, but outside, no. Anyway, tomorrow I'll be doing a Wrestle Crate unboxing, and like I said, guys, if you see me this weekend, love of wrestling, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come and grab a picture with me, and I make sure to acknowledge your brand new podcast prediction champion. Let's see if I can hold on to this title past Revolution, or Ian takes it back off me.
If I take it back off, are you gonna post it to me?
But I'm going to post it to you. No, that costs money, which I don't have. I don't have any money. I just spent £600. Well, okay, £400 I spent altogether, 600 quid on Love of Wrestling. Expensive, but yeah, expensive. Any final words or anything?
Well, all I can say is, you know, going for Love of Wrestling. Enjoy. Hopefully, I go down next year.
So yeah, it's on again. It'll be on again next year. Hopefully, I would have thought March. I think they wanted to do March this year because people will be going to Mania. So people lucky enough to go to Mania. People lucky enough to go to both. Damn, I wish I had that kind of money. I just spend it on more wrestling. Anyway, kind of rambling here. Do like and subscribe. Get me to 350 and remember to electrify and acknowledge.